Arsenal have a master plan. I can now finally see the vision. I've put in so many hours of research to do this video, and I can tell you there are reasons to be excited if you're an Arsenal fan. Not just for this season, but long term as well. I'm going to tell you everything I've found. Before we get into it though, just very quickly, do me a favour. Hit like in this video. So we know the transfer window's ended. We know the season is in full swing, but already we've got international duty. So just very quickly, I want you to let me know what you think of Arsenal's season so far. We're only 3 games in. What's your initial thoughts on the season for Arsenal so far? Are you happy? Are you unhappy? Are we ahead of where we should be? Are we behind? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So, the very first thing I'm going to show you, and bear with me because everything knits together in the end. It all makes sense. If you watch till the end, you are going to understand why I'm so excited as an Arsenal fan. Okay, so very first, I'm just going to flick up the ins and outs of this summer transfer window. And you're going to see now on the side, it looks like there are way more outgoings than incomings. And there are, but these are the ones we need to focus on. These are the only ones that really play minutes for Arsenal. These are the only guys that make a difference in that Arsenal team. Look at some of the incomings we got. Merino, Calafiori, Neto, Sterling, Smith Rowe out, Nketiah out, Nelson out, Vieira out, and Ramsdale out. Let me tell you why we have strengthened so much with these players that we've brought in, okay? So first of all, Nketiah last season played 1,393 minutes, which is equivalent of about 15 games. Nelson played 731 minutes, which is the equivalent of about 8 games. So in total, that's 21 games, okay? So them 2 out and Raheem Sterling comes in. So all you need to do is have Raheem Sterling play 21 games. And no one in the world can tell me Raheem Sterling isn't an upgrade on Nketiah and Nelson. Raheem Sterling's a better player. So in my mind, we have absolutely strengthened our forward line. Yes, we've lost 2 players, but the one we've brung in only has to cover their minutes. That's all he has to do. And if you're telling me Sterling won't play 21 games total, I wouldn't believe you. Sterling can cover those minutes, and he's an improvement on both of those players. So we've improved the forward line. Midfield. Have we improved the midfield? Let's have a look. Fabio Vieira played 561 minutes last season, which is the equivalent of 6 games. We've brought in Merino, who only needs to play 6 games. And again, no one can tell me Merino isn't a better player than Vieira. He's just won the Euros. He's been ripping it up in Spain for the last few seasons. So much experience, so much technical ability. And he's got that bite. He's got that physical presence in the middle of the park, which is something we've been missing in this Arsenal team. Some people can say we've been a bit light in midfield. When Merino comes in, we will not have that problem anymore. And he's replaced Fabio Vieira. So again, we've improved that midfield position. But again, Smith Rowe, he played 475 minutes last season. That's the equivalent of 5 games. But people will always say, Arteta never gives the youth a chance. Arteta never lays a pathway for the youth players to succeed. We know Ethan Nwaneri is now going to take those minutes of Smith Rowe. He's been promoted to the first team. So now this is his chance to show that, in all honesty, he's better than Smith Rowe. He can do what Smith Rowe was unable to do. And that was lock down a first team position in this squad. So that's another plus for me. Like, you're going to get minutes to a young player. 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri is going to take those 5 games off Smith Rowe. That's another improvement. And then on top of that, you bring in Calafiori, who strengthens the Arsenal defence. So we have strengthened every single part of this pitch. David Raya was made permanent this summer as well. We obviously had him on loan last season, but the deal carries over to this season because we paid for him this season. So Calafiori strengthened the defence. Not only does it strengthen the left-hand side, but it strengthens the right-hand side as well. You might be thinking, what you want about? He's a left-footed player. I know, but it allows Timber to challenge Ben White on the right-hand side of the pitch. So there's competition for Ben White. You've got 2 strong right-backs now if needed. You've got Jurriën Timber and you've got Ben White. We know how many centre-backs we got. Now we've got Calafiori to drop into the left-back and centre-back position if needed. We've got Zinchenko, we've got Kivior, Saliba, Gabriel. So many options in this team. And that's without adding in the fact that Neto's coming for Ramsdale. That's another switch. Ramsdale had to leave, so we had to bring in someone. And in my opinion, Neto is the perfect choice. because you use Neto for a season and then you bring Carl Hein back next season and you've replaced Ramsdale for free. You're bringing in Neto on loan, but you've replaced Ramsdale for essentially no money. A few days ago, I was probably thinking, with all them outgoings, we've probably weakened our squad slightly. But after looking into it, after actually going through the detail, we have unquestionably strengthened our squad for next season, and it's not being spoken about enough. All I'm seeing out there is negative news. All I'm seeing out there is why Arsenal can't win the league, why Arsenal are in a worse position than they was last season. Guys, we've had one draw to Brighton. Things can still look good for this season coming up. I am convinced now after looking into this that our squad is stronger. I've just told you exactly why. Sterling is better than Nketiah and Nelson, and he takes their minutes. Mikel Merino is better than Fabio Vieira and Emil Smith Rowe, and he takes their minutes. And then you've got Ethan Nwaneri being introduced to the squad as well to take some minutes off some of those guys who wasn't being played that often. So after looking into it, I can actually see what Arsenal were doing. Look, I probably would have liked one more forward if I'm being honest, but I don't think it's essential. I think we still can win the league. I think we can get to January, and if we need to buy a striker, then maybe we will. I don't think that's going to happen, by the way. The January transfer window, like I said in yesterday's video, is more of an opportunistic kind of window. If you have to replace someone because of a long-term injury, then maybe you do that. But I am very excited for this season after looking into that information and understanding we've strengthened in every single area. Left back, centre back, right back, centre mid, up front, forward positions as well. The only position maybe you can look at and say we need a bit of strength for is now Martin Odegaard. Maybe a CDM as well. But I look at that squad now and I think that is definitely a stronger squad this season than it was last season. Let me know your thoughts on it. Do you see it the same way? After that information, are you now more slightly more optimistic that this team is better than it was last season? Let me know in the comment section. So next, I just wanted to speak about Liverpool, Arsenal and Man City in this season's title race. Because look, Arsenal have had a tricky start to the season. What's my opinion on the season? I think we've been okay. We avenged the defeat from Aston Villa last season. That was a big have to do this season. Like, we had to beat Aston Villa and we went and done it. We've had 3 difficult games. Look, Liverpool have had some easy games. Liverpool are probably the form team in the league at the minute after 3 games, all right? They've played Ipswich, Brentford and United. They've scored 7 goals and conceded none. That is a very, very good record. Liverpool do look good, but, you know, they've played 3 rubbish teams. United aren't great, Brentford aren't great, and Ipswich aren't great. So I want to see Liverpool do this after, 20, 30 games. They started good last season and then they fell away and they was nowhere near the title at the end of the season. So to the people worrying out there saying that we now have to compete with 2 teams, you're probably right, we do. Liverpool aren't as strong as Man City and Arsenal this season, in my opinion, and I think they will fall away. And I said this last season, when Liverpool was right up there, people were panicking saying, Liverpool were better than us. Go back to last season, I was saying, no, they're not. They're going to fall away. 100% they're going to fall away, and they did. And I expect the exact same thing to happen this season. They're in a good period at the moment. They got a new manager. Everything's nice. Wait until winter comes and they're starting to get beat by teams like Brighton away. In early next year, March, I think they've got to play. And wait till that game comes, or Villa they're playing in March. Wait till they start playing them teams and then come to me and tell me how good Liverpool are doing. Man City, again, they've been doing very good. They've conceded the most goals out of all these teams, though. They've also scored the most. They've played Chelsea, Ipswich and West Ham. Again, so that's a fairly difficult... It's not as hard as Arsenal's start to the season. They've scored 9 goals and they've conceded 2. Haaland has obviously scored most of them goals and the guy is unbelievable. If we're being honest, I can't wait till Man City sell him. He's probably the best striker in the world. He's the top 2 strikers in the world and he does strengthen them. And I always see it being used as an argument as if to say, like, Arsenal have to buy a striker because Man City have Haaland. And there's not really much of a rebuttal to that. Like, I understand it. Like, if you can go get a Haaland, then you go get a Haaland. But there's not many of them out there. So to people bashing Arsenal because they haven't got a Haaland, it's because there's not many of them out there. Like, I understand you want a striker. I also want a striker, by the way. But Man City have started well. Like I said, they probably can be got at. Like, you can see, they've conceded against Ipswich. Like, teams can score against them. And if Haaland goes off the boil, if they get a couple of injuries, maybe there can be some problems for Man City. And then I'm looking at Arsenal. Of course, we are behind both of those teams. We're the only ones to draw. Both of these teams have won all their games. But we've played Wolves, Villa and Brighton. That is definitely a harder start to these other 2 guys. We've scored 5 goals and conceded 1. And we know we only conceded the goal because of what happened at Brighton. We know it was a dodgy sending off. I'm not going to get into all of all the questions around the sending off because we know it was rubbish. It shouldn't have happened. But look, there's plenty of reasons to be excited going forward. I think this international break is a chance for everyone to just reset, calm down a bit. The craziness after the transfer window should pass. You know, there's always a lot of noise circulating clubs around the transfer window because people always want more players. People have always got their ideas on where they want to strengthen. But Arsenal have done exactly what they wanted to do. They've strengthened in defence, midfield and attack. And like, if I'm looking at a club and asking them to do something, I can't ask any more than that. They've strengthened in every single position. Now, it's not perfect. Of course I want the striker. Of course maybe I would have liked one more forward. But you can't get everything you want straight away. Arsenal have improved, and that's all we can ask. Keep improving year on year. Every season, keep improving. Of course there's some negativity surrounding the club at the minute because we just had a dodgy result. And it was kind of made worse by the fact that we had that sending off that shouldn't have happened. I understand the frustration. But don't let it change your thinking. Arsenal still are on the right path. There's reasons to be excited. There doesn't have to be this negativity or this toxicity surrounding this fan base. We know we see the media creators out there who like to point towards the toxic, who like to focus on the negativities to get clicks. We are not that kind of channel. Everything I try and do is level-headed and I try and bring you positive. And that's exactly what I'm doing in this video. There are reasons to be excited. Let me know your thoughts on everything you've heard in this video. Are you excited? Do you see it the same as me? Do you see it as we've strengthened every position? If not, let me know why. We can have a conversation. I reply to every single comment. I don't hide away from debate or discussion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section and I'll get back to you. Have we strengthened or have we not? Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Like I said, before you go, just do me a favor. Hit like on this video. Just like it and subscribe and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.